Well, it hasn't always been pretty for a team that really lacks star power, but Tom Izzo does it again. He finds his way back into the NCAA tournament. Michigan State sitting with a 7 seed and is going to take on the USC Trojans. This should be a fantastic first round game. Does Michigan State make it through the first weekend? That's what we're going to dig into on this one. But Steve, we were back and forth all season long with Michigan State. Will they have enough star power? Will they have enough to get to the tournament at least? But under Tom Izzo, we haven't seen that not happen. We thought this could have been the year that maybe we saw them in the NIT. Wasn't the case. And this team really did prove us wrong plenty of times this season. And we're now seeing them as the number 7 seed. Initially, what's your takeaway from that?
Well, first of all, thank you for being so kind. I'm the idiot that kept saying there was no way Michigan State was going to make the tournament. And it has nothing against Tom Izzo as a coach. I mean, he's a maestro. Yeah, I mean, he truly is. But God, they did it again. They just did enough in just about every game to get themselves a pretty healthy, seed, in the tournament. I mean, it's not a great seed, but still, I mean, they certainly should win their first round game. Tough draw because they got to come up against Marquette, who may be the hottest team out there right now. I guess you could argue Texas and Alabama, but Marquette's done and Shaka Smart's done a terrific job there. So it's going to be a tough second round match. But any team that has Tom Izzo on the sidelines has a chance. Unfortunately, Tom Izzo can't score, and that's part of the problem that the Spartans have quite a bit is they just don't have consistent scoring. I mean, when all the cylinders are clicking, yes, okay. I mean, they put up some really great games, but in the tournament, guard play. Their guards do everything but really consistently put the ball in the hoop. So I think that's kind of different from other Michigan State teams that we really don't know. We know what kind of defensive schemes they're going to run and how tough and physical they are on the defensive end of the game. I just don't see how they're going to score enough points in the region that they're in to be able to advance beyond the first weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough draw. And as you mentioned, if they get through the first game, they'll have to face, if everything works out as we predict, Marquette in that second round game. And as you mentioned, Marquette is looking really good. I mean, there was a couple people thinking that there was a possibility to maybe squeak them to a 1 seed. That's how good that this team was being. But Michigan State, I mean, when you look at this team, you're right. They have to have their shooters fire on all cylinders. I'm talking Tyson Walker. I'm talking Joey Hauser, AJ Hoggard. They all have to be completely just 100% ready to go. And they got to do a lot better on the rebounding side, especially on the offensive glass. If they can find a way to be successful in the tournament with those things, not only I think will they have no problem with USC, because I'm not trying to write off the Trojans in this one either. That's going to be a really good matchup in the first round game. But if they can do that, if they can really follow those keys, have their shooters take off and really worry about their offensive rebounds, get some more second chance shots because they seem like that was an issue, then I think they have a chance to get out of the first weekend, maybe squeak one of those upsets against Marquette. Hey, we've seen it before. A team, I would not be surprised if a team that has an upset is a team that is coached by Tom Izzo, Steve. Not one bit.
Well, no, absolutely. And it was almost sacrilegious for me to even suggest that Michigan State was going to potentially, I mean, we don't know whether he's coming back next year. I don't think that's been formally announced, has it? I don't know whether Tom Izzo was still thinking of perhaps this being his final season. I was always kind of concerned that maybe it would be an NIT title that they would win because Michigan State would be the kind of team that would be able to match up well in NIT matchups. But once again, he gets every ounce of talent out of his players every game. His players don't take nights off. If they even hint at taking a night off, they're on the bench and he's bringing somebody else in. Because, I mean, it's just relentless defense. It's every possession, whether you have the ball in your hands or whether you're defending it. Michigan State is in your face for every possession. So when you have a team that buys into that system and so relentless, you can't write them off. Um, I just can't see them getting past the first weekend. I mean, it breaks my heart because you want to see Tom Izzo there in the Sweet 16 or in a regional final. I mean, you want to see Tom Izzo on the sideline, just scowling and pacing and and doing everything that he does, working the referees, all the wonderful things that he does, you know, um, as a bench coach. But I think this is just one of those years Michigan State's got to be happy that they made the tournament, and if they can win themselves a game, that's even better.
Yeah, I don't think that this will be the last time we see Tom Izzo for sure. I know that there's been discussions last year saying that he felt rejuvenated, had no plans to retire anytime soon. I know a new contract came his way. With like even plans into a retirement job and a new buyout. So all the thoughts of him possibly moving on after this, even if it is an early round exit for the Spartans, I still think we'll see Tom Izzo head coaching the Spartans next year. But I would not be surprised, as I mentioned earlier, to possibly see a Michigan State upset, maybe against a Marquette team. I don't have that in my bracket. I actually have Marquette go pretty dang deep in mine. But again, would not be surprised if my bracket's busted by a Tom Izzo team. What do you think about Michigan State? Do you think they have what it takes to beat USC and possibly a team like Marquette in that first weekend in the region? That's a really tough draw. Do you think they have the opportunity to do so? Do they have the star power? Is Tom Izzo's coaching enough? We've seen that work and not work so far this season. I go back to that Gonzaga game against the Carrier. That offensive play just didn't work. It didn't wind up. What are we going to see this time around? Let us know in the comment description below. Hit like and subscribe while you're there. March Madness is here, everyone. We're going to have you covered every single step of the way until we crown a national champion on both the men's and the women's side. But until then, thank you for watching. SlasherU.